So I'm going to give you guys a tour of the aft section of the boat before it gets too dark. But that's looking down the hallway, and we're going to go down the stairs there and take a look at it. And so these are the stairs up to the helm. And so when I come down here, this is the aft section on the starboard side. So immediately right here, I've got a little half bath. There's a compost toilet that we put in. We still have some of the floor panels up, just monitoring where we made some patches, but nothing major. Just haven't taken the time to put them back in yet. But anyway, this is my half bath here in the hallway. And then next here is basically what I call the tool room. So if I step way back, so oh wait. That is a cabinet that I have, and in the original configuration it was actually a bench seat, but prior to me owning it, somebody took and made this tool room, and so we've got all of this space where we keep all of the tools. And I'm thinking eventually someday it might be kind of a washer dryer configuration and move the tool room somewhere else, but right now, as we're doing remodeling, it's nice to have a place to put all that stuff. And so this area is actually an extra bunk. The mattress I'll show you behind me, but that's the space for it there. So this is the space above the extra bunk over on the starboard side. And then as I turn around, this is my son's room. So behind this door is, behind this window, actually, the mirror, is the shower, and he and I share kind of like a Jack and Jill shower. And so this would be his bed, but technically we actually have like 3 bunk mattresses here. There you go, 3 mattresses there piled up, because he's got 1 bunk here for himself, and over here we have it up because, again, I've got like the drawers and things that are out that we're just keeping an eye on, some places where we've patched up some leaks. But so normally this here, where you can see down in the bilge, that would be the second bunk, so that there would be 2 of them that could sleep in here. That's his little nightstand. And normally I've got, you'll see it later, but there's a big old wooden wheel that goes up on that wall back there. But this is Brody's room. This is the coolest part here. It's so hard to get in this view, but this is a sliding door, and I'll shut it and then I'll step back. And so if he wants to shut himself out from the rest of us, as you look back up into the salon now, you can see this door is shut, and so I'll push it open. I love this barn door. So there it goes. There's the barn door. I love this old barn door that's still here. See, I'm opening it up, and it makes it seem so much bigger in his room. Being open over here, at least getting a light from both sides from where we. So back here, this is the master stateroom. It's my understanding that prior to my ownership, they moved this back about 8 to 12 inches so that they could get the queen size bed here in the middle. You can tell it's tapered off on the edges, so it's not really queen size at your feet, but it is up there. The majority of it is. And so it used to be where there was twin size beds on each side, and so what they did was they took and put dressers here on both sides. And I still have all my clothes up in the rubber tubs from, after the hurricane. The water level was up, up here. It didn't get my mattress, but it was up here within the bottom of the bed. So I had to take everything out of the dressers and wash it, and I just haven't moved it all around yet, but let me step back. But that is the starboard side of my master stateroom. Right there. And so this would be the port side, and so this side over here, the dressers are actually taller. You can tell the dressers end right below the port lights, and so got a little shelf and a cabinet space and some bigger dresser drawers there. The exhaust goes down on each side below each of the set of dressers. And so then I've got these cute little nightstands on both sides. And these beautiful floors throughout the entire boat. Originally, it had these beautiful mahogany floors, which was a custom feature, we're guessing, because most of these boats only came with parquet, carpet, or tile. But everywhere throughout the boat, this floor goes up under the cabinets, up under everything. And so we've just assumed that this was something spec'd out from the factory. But this is my head. And so come around here. It's the master stateroom head. And then this is the shower that Brody and I share. So you can tell we've got a little door there. And so this mirror is actually the door that goes to my son's room. And so that is the master head. I haven't actually cleaned that completely since the hurricane. You can see the water line there. Port side was the high side, so it wasn't so bad. Starboard side was about 3 feet deep, but it's kind of just where we've thrown a few things that haven't been fully cleaned yet. But anyway, this is the aft section of the boat, and I will get you guys some video of the rest of it. We're going to grab some dinner here before it gets too late, but I wanted to get you a video of this before the sun went down because it's so much prettier with just a little bit of sunlight back here. Okay, so I know it's nighttime, but I got at least the aft cabins during the daylight when there's a lot more sunlight back there and easy to see. But this is as you come down the helm into the salon. And so this here is my salon. We still have some of the outdoor furniture actually down here, and you'll see why. Upstairs, we've moved the dock box and things post-hurricane up onto the deck, so there's no room for it. And they didn't really have any good furniture here anyway, so this is the outdoor patio furniture that's now upstairs. This, I've got a video back there when there's daylight. All I have is those little porthole windows and some little 12-volt lights, so it's much easier to see from the previous video that I'll attach to this one. But this is basically it here. And so, sorry, we've got this shop light on, like really bright, pointed straight up. I'm gonna move it where it's not like shining us in the face as much, maybe. But this all used to be completely covered. And so there was right here, there's a groove, and so you can see there was a sliding door right here. And so this would slide shut, and we still have this door somewhere on the boat. I don't see it handy to show you. And so you would shut the big door here, and you would slide this shut, and then all of this had a rooftop over the top of it. And it would basically make it a separate bedroom. That way, if somebody was sleeping in the dinette, they had some privacy. But we had some leakage in the top corners up there, way back when, in that corner, and then that corner over there, which caused some of this upper decking thing to get rot in the corners. And it was a little bit strange to me because you had this huge area that just was a big shelf across there that it was like plants and a television or I forget what else they had just sitting up there. So it was weird to have this space above the galley and above the dinette that was, for the most part, unusable. And so I liked having the extra space down here in the galley. And we still have, I have reupholstered cushions still back in South Carolina. So I still have the old ones, and these have not even been cleaned since the hurricane. It's all rather dirty a little bit as far as the cushions go, but this is my second visit here since I moved her to Florida post-hurricane. This is the dinette. And this up here, I know somebody had asked, but this up here in the salon, this is just a vinyl flooring product. You can kind of see it here. I don't know, can you see it on the end? But anyway, so this used to be Berber floor when I bought the boat, and we pulled it out because they had pulled out this entire floor and this ceiling. If you look really closely from the outside, you can tell where they went through and cut the ceiling out, because she's got brand new Detroit diesels dropped in that only have about 250, 300 hours in her. So this is just kind of a fake teak and holly vinyl, which is actually kind of great. Or when we lift the hatch right there and you work on the engine, it's just vinyl and you can't really hurt it. But then when you come down here, these boats only came with the options of the carpet, vinyl, and the wood flooring, the parquet flooring. And so when we've gone around this boat and you look up under all of the hatches and up under every place, this wood flooring is all over the entire boat. And so the best that we can come up with is that they actually installed this custom from Chris Craft, because it's up under everything, everywhere we can find. And that's not a standard option. But let me see if I can get up here, get just shot of the galley a little bit. The stove used to be over there, and so I'm not sure if I want to end up with maybe like some drawer refrigerator units, like a freezer unit and a couple fridge units over there, or over here. But I have this tiny little refrigerator that's in this big opening only because whatever comes down into this galley has to fit through that helm door up there. And so this was the absolute largest refrigerator that I could get that would come through that door. So we use it for now, but it's clearly not the final solution. But I'd like to get a few little drawer, freezer, fridge type units. But so anyway, so we're down here in the galley, and so I don't know, those are awful bright. Does it help if I turn them off? There you go. So now you can see how I've opened it up. And so when you're standing down here in the galley, for men especially, a lot of men, if you were like 6'3", 6'4", would hit their heads on the ceiling of the galley. And so now when it's daytime, we've got the sunlight that comes through and you've got all the natural light, which I really like the way that we've opened this up. This up here, we actually just varnished this tonight. I have to show you this new bar. So this bar was basically donated from Miss Mary Ann from Chicago. And that right there is the coolest thing ever, where it's got the Chris Craft Constellation logo and the Chris Craft just underneath the epoxy. So this is epoxy, so it's indestructible for anybody sitting here and sitting drinks on it and whatnot. It didn't match my color. You can't really see it so much, but my color is a little bit more golden, where this is a little bit more cherry. You can kind of tell right there. And so just tonight, we took and put another coat of varnish on some of what I replaced, where we opened it up to the galley. I had pulled all of this out and put new wood in, and it was still kind of the golden color, medium oak-ish color. And so we just went over the top of it with a new coat of varnish that had a little bit of the Chris Craft mahogany on it. And just, I mean, if you look at it, once I get a few more coats of varnish on it and it shines up kind of like the epoxy has, you won't even know the color. That's just one coat. So I get 2 or 3 coats on there and it's going to match perfectly. And so, you know, the next project will be to continue on around there with all of this medium golden color, and just eventually, every time I put a coat of varnish on, making a little bit more of the Chris Craft mahogany color stand out in it. But anyway, so this is the galley. Let me see. Oh, that's kind of bright. But this is my galley. Dinette. So this is the front crew quarters up here. This is Albert's bunk down here. Albert came down from Chicago, drove 1,200 miles, and has spent a week here, as just because his boat was up in the paint booth getting fiberglass sprayed on it. He didn't have anything to do, so he drove down here with every tool he owns, or I think, or half of them. probably, and spent, what, 9 days or so here working on my boat. Anyway, it's just a small little bunk, the crew quarters, with some drawers there. There's a nice locker on this side, and then the crew quarters, it's tiny, but you know, it's got a toilet and sink. It used to have a shower. It doesn't anymore. But this is the crew head. So anyway, back up top, I think. Let's go up here and I will show you the upstairs. There's Albert. Oh, Albert's getting cold. Is it cold out now? It was 77 degrees in Florida and you're putting a sweatshirt on?
It's not 77.
It's not now. It was 77 degrees today earlier. So, here, let me see if I can, it's a bit dark, so turn on my flashlight. This is the helm. A lot of this is not original because I used to have the bench seat right here in front of the wheel there. So it had the bench seat and then it had the bar behind it like you see a lot of the Chris Crafts have. But that was stolen out of my boat. And so down here, this square is not original because that's where the bench seat used to be up there by the helm, and then the bar was on the backside. And so before I owned it, somebody else, just improvised. I've got a really, really cool fighting chair here in the helm that's like, 25 feet from being close to the water and fishing. But, if we could just make like this thing some sort of a beer koozie or something instead of a fishing rod holder, that might work. But anyway, sorry, this is storage. We're still working, but I have an entire set of cushions that are up in South Carolina. It's got interior cushions that are going to go all around this, so that when you're up here driving the boat, you're not really here alone. You've got company, and clearly you've got the marine grade Smirnoff, and somewhere, there it is, the marine grade Absolute that we've got a case or so of here on the boat right now. And there's Albert. It's bright. Sorry, he doesn't like the bright light. So come up on the back deck. This is clearly where we cook and hang out. And that is the back deck of Ella here. I love having all of this space. Let me step back and get you a video of it the other direction. There's the little motor that goes up on top of the dinghy. Up on the dinghy that's on top of the boat.